Welcome back, all you lovely listeners, to our next 3 episodes of Marvel's What If, episodes 4 through 6 reviews. If you forgot or you're new to what we do here, this is Roomies Talkin Movies. I'm Danan.
I'm Camden.
I'm Jackson.
That was the smoothest introduction we've ever had of everyone, and I'm
Clean.
pissed that it's not an episode. It's just for a YouTube one.
It's
so
just a short.
That's probably going to be our best one ever. We're back this week to ask the question, Marvel's What If?
Mm-hmm.
That is the question.
2 out of
we
3 of these
asking-
episodes were really, really good.
I feel like they ask it, and
And
then
we
we just watch them.
We
answer
think
then.
about it.
We don't even think about it though, because they show us how it
They
happens.
really show us everything.
Not
It's-
much of a pondering show.
No. I don't know why he's called the Watcher. He's more like the Ponderer.
He's more like the thinker. Whoa. Okay, we gotta stray away
All
from
right.
that. That's what it is.
We
Okay.
got to get away from that. There's already a statue named after him.
Already statue.
Jackson, why don't you introduce us what episode 4 asks?
What if is the question it asks.
Yeah.
But more specifically,
Mhm.
what if Doctor Strange didn't lose his hands and he lost his heart instead?
When I first read that, I was like, he'd be dead.
yeah, it's
His
just,
heart.
He's dead.
But they mean his love, not his actual heart.
So get it together, Marvel.
Yeah,
We're
come
sick
on.
of this shit.
And it turns out to be probably the saddest episode.
It was
Yet-
pretty heartbreaking.
It's one of my favorite episodes because it really just goes like, it's not always going to be good. It's just,
yeah.
Yeah, and it has a lot of lore in it too. You know, it tells us about absolute points in
Mhm.
time.
which
That's
might be a
new.
new thing that they introduce, or it's maybe their throwaway thing for What If. Like they might not touch it
Maybe.
anymore. But I'm sure like we'll definitely have it mentioned in like the Doctor Strange movie, if not in the Spider-Man one, where they're
Mhm.
like, you turning into Spider-Man is an absolute point. If you're not Spider-Man, then we have to get Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire back.
What are we gonna do then?
They're gonna be like, where are our sequels, you know? But
Mhm.
it's interesting. We're getting a couple new. I'm not super confused about it yet, which is good. Like if they keep
Yeah.
throwing terms, it might be a bit too much. But so far we have like a nexus point and an absolute point.
Yeah.
An absolute point can't be changed, and a nexus point changes everything from that point.
Yeah.
So now we know what that is.
But then a nexus being it
Can
doesn't
create
doesn't-
nexus
It's only like
events.
one person
I'm
that
confused.
doesn't exist
No more
in
terms.
other reality.
No
It's
more
so
terms. No
confusing.
more
Can we
terms.
stop, guys?
Just don't think about it and it makes sense.
I pulled one of my classic blunders again this week for
Oh.
episode 4. I was like, this is such a good Benedict Cumberbatch impersonation. I'm loving it.
And
it's-
it was him.
It was
was him.
It was him again.
was him.
I'm so confused
Hey.
on most of these episodes. I can't keep up. I don't know if it's them or not. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I do.
because like we'll talk about it. The next episode has someone who does Tom Holland Spider-Man impersonation.
Mhm.
For half of it, I was like, is this Tom Holland?
Yeah, it was pretty good
It's
at
pretty
some points.
good.
But then other points I was like, that's not Tom Holland.
Yeah.
No way.
But back on episode 4, Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know if you guys heard about him before or not. Pretty good actor,
He's
huh?
a good actor. I'd
No,
say.
there's no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
Love me some Benedict Wong. So
Mhm.
seeing him get anything, great. And it's
Yeah.
cool to like show the differences between like our Doctor Strange is like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then the bad version is just like, I won't mess with time, Wong, and then goes and messes with time.
Mhm.
So it's funny. Like, do you
It's a
think
funny haha moment.
Jackson,
Sometimes.
and to a lesser extent, Camden,
Okay.
do you think this evil Doctor Strange is somehow gonna play into Far From Home or Multiverse of Madness at all?
No, but I
'cause
think
he's
he's gonna play
gone.
into the rest of the show.
Mm,
He might show up in the live action, but I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
I don't know
Like
who
a-
they
Well,
cast for that.
actually, technically, he's.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
He doesn't die. He's just doomed to be
No, yeah, he's
in that little circle for
I think
eternity, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we'll talk about like overall theories at the end,
At
but
the
like
end.
Okay.
they're clearly working towards something where they're all combined and they all work together in like some sort of multiversal
Yeah, seems
Avengers
something
type
like that.
situation because they can't seem to stray away from the fucking Avengers for some reason.
Well, no, actually, we'll get into it then. We'll get into it then.
into it.
Because they like officially revealed the name of that team.
Yeah,
So, but what about
So-
that ending, huh?
Well, no. Let's just give a quick synopsis of the episode, just like so that people
Yeah.
aren't left in the dark.
Yeah,
they're
because
probably
people
been really confused this whole time. They're like,
Yeah,
what are
they're
they
like,
talking
what are they talking about? All right, so Doctor Strange, he has this girl he really likes. Forgot her name already.
Christine Palmer.
Christine Palmer. She goes in the car with him when he crashes. Instead of him hurting himself, his hands, she dies.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps trying to go back in time with the time stone to not like revive her, but to change it. And she doesn't or she keeps dying. He finds out that it's an absolute point in time and that she needs to die for him to become the Sorcerer Supreme in that universe. And
I think the absolute point in time in our universe would be him, like
him breaking his hands.
right?
Yeah.
Like I think if
Yeah.
he tried to change that, he probably still wouldn't be able.
But it's
Which
cool
brings up an interesting thing. Absolute points in times are different
in every reality.
universe, which is the
Which
only
you would
reason
think
What
that,
If
like,
exists.
If it was an absolute point, it would kind of just
Stay the same
coincide
and
across
everything.
all realities, and that's why it's an absolute. Stupid Marvel.
Stupid
Yeah.
Marvel.
But
But,
continue, Jackson. How does the Ancient One solve this problem?
So he's like, ah, crap, I really want to find a way to break this absolute point in time. The Ancient One's like, no, you can't do that. But he's really dedicated. What the Ancient One does is she splits him into two.
Mm.
One good side and one bad side. The bad side goes to the past and finds these books that
Yeah.
tell him how he needs a lot of power to break an absolute point in time. So he starts absorbing like evil spirits, like stuff from the Dormammu world. What's it called?
The Dark Dimension.
The Dark Dimension.
But it seemed like some of them were also Sorcerer Supremes, like that bug.
Yeah.
Was that just like a bug version of Doctor Strange when he takes the cape off that beetle? Or was it just that was a bug with a cape?
I think it was just a
Mhm.
bug with a cape.
I hope it was Bug Doctor.
Yeah, I
Strange.
think that'd be fun. The Sorcerer Supreme bug.
That would be
Sorcerer Bug
interesting
Supreme.
for sure.
But it was cool seeing him like absorb all these random creatures. We get another glimpse of that tentacle guy, Shuma,
I saw it.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of episodes.
probably gonna
Probably gonna be like
probably
the
gonna-
bad guy, right? I would.
Multiverse of Madness, I'm assuming. They would-
Guardians. of
yeah.
the
Multiverse.
multiverse. That couldn't be their name or anything.
No.
That couldn't have been a leak.
But yeah, and then the
And-
Watcher is the first time he actually intervenes.
right. He
Mhm.
doesn't really intervene. He talks to
Which is
Well,
more-
Doctor Strange notices him and is
Yeah.
like, "I see you, bitch."
Which was cool because it happened like halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
He's like, Stephen Strange is really fucking shit up right now. Who's saying that? Oh, go and then like
Yeah.
backs up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was cool seeing like at the end when he's like, "You're the Watcher, you can save everyone," and then he like comes into framing. You're like, "Oh, well, I didn't think we'd get here this soon."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He hasn't like
if he's
physically
if he is gonna
intervened.
be the one to intervene and bring them all together, then it makes sense that he's like getting this close so soon because there's still like we're over halfway through the.
Yeah, we are
season
now
now?
passing it. So,
So I mean, they got to all meet each other relatively soon. I'm assuming that it's not going to be like a one episode thing. It's going to be at least 2, if not 3, which means we only have like.
I think
1
it's
or
only
2
gonna be
more
one episode.
episodes. Yeah.
I only think
until-
it's going to be one episode that they cross over.
I think the reason they split the season in half is because like the first half was just introducing us to everyone.
And now,
Second
yeah,
half is like let's bring them all together and introduce the main problem of the show.
yeah.
But
It was interesting because at the end, even though this is not like a perfect hero,
mhm.
you could see that when the Watcher's like, "No, you ruined this reality. This universe is like unrepairable," and then he was just like, "No, I just like punish me, no one
Yeah.
else." And they're like, "Oh, I'm still a hero, but now you're."
But the Watcher was like, I could, but I'm not gonna.
You know what? Here's your punishment. The universe dies, and you stay in an eternal prison. And then he's like, "What?"
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
The
and it
Watcher
just
was
ends
not a nice
too.
guy.
It just ended too.
Yeah, it was harsh ending.
And I always watch these right when they come out at midnight, so I just had to sit there in like
You were,
the
like,
dark
sitting in
of the
bed, like,
apartment. I
man.
was like, "Man, can't go kill an entire universe, huh?"
That's tough.
One of my most liked episodes. I really enjoyed this one.
Me too.
It was good. It was just sad. Like it left me
Empty.
empty. I was like, no, they can't do
think-
this to him.
I think
I
this
wanted a
episode
happy
was my
ending.
favorite so far.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But you know what's a close second, Danan? For me, at least.
a close second for Camden's favorite episodes on Marvel's What If is the aforementioned, the super looked after one. It's time to talk about Marvel Zombies.
Woo, baby!
But hey, you know a running trend that they're doing.
Yeah.
If Hank Pym isn't raising the next Ant-Man, he is killing
He's
every
killing
Marvel
so
hero
many
in the
people.
MCU.
yeah, practically.
So it was cool how they did this differently than in the comics. In the comics of that
Mhm.
one shot Marvel, it's like a basic zombie virus. People are like, oh, they're getting infected. And then someone like Spider-Man and then like the Thing get infected and they're like, oh, well, that's over.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like a virus from the quantum realm,
Mhm.
which takes place like right near Infinity War and Ant-Man and the Wasp time.
It's like right before
Yeah.
Infinity War.
So you can see that in this reality, the Avengers either didn't split up or they put their differences aside to stop whatever was going on. They go to San Francisco. Then, of course, they all get infected. They
Mhm.
infect more people. In fact,
Because
they
they're the
Yeah,
Avengers.
'cause-
Because these zombies can use the powers,
powers
as
still.
zombies, which is crazy.
But
little
what was
overpowered.
interesting is that where we start is right at the point where Hulk gets brought back to Earth
Mm-hmm.
from Heimdall when Thanos kills everyone on Asgard,
Yeah.
pretty much. He gets thrown to the Sanctum, but no one's there. And then when he shows up, it's like a reflection of the beginning scene where it's like, oh, the Avengers show up to stop the 2 sons of Thanos or whatever. And then they just kill
And
them.
they kill them.
Yeah.
And Hulk's just like, what the fuck?
He's like, guys, that's a bit much. Overkill, guys. And then they all get up as zombies and you're like, oh, this is the show we're doing. They're cool.
Yeah.
This
Cool.
is a zombie show now. Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing everything. It was cool that the Cloak was one of the main team members of
I
the
like
zombie
that.
killers.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The Cloak is always great.
Cloak is
We
a
didn't
great
mention
addition.
it, but in the Doctor Strange episode, there was a Cloak versus Cloak battle, which
Yeah.
was great.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love to see that, dude.
Love to see
You
that.
gotta do silly things like that when you're putting 2 characters that are the same character in the same
Together,
room, you know,
yeah.
fighting.
But anyways, great job by Mark Ruffalo. Was good voice acting in this one.
Mhm,
He gets
mhm.
saved by not Tom Holland's Spider-Man,
Correct.
and they meet up with the rest of the heroes that have survived so far.
Which is a surprising.
A surprising ensemble.
Yeah, they have like Happy.
Bruce Banner, Hope Van Dyne, Peter Parker, the Cloak of Levitation, Bucky Barnes, Okoye, Sharon Carter, Happy Hogan, and Kurt.
Wow, it's cool.
Gotta love
You
Kurt.
pulled up a list, didn't you?
Well, I
Is-
pulled up. I want
is
to make sure
Kurt
that we don't miss
from
anything, please.
Ant-Man? He
Ant-Man
is?
and the
Okay,
Wasp. He's the
right.
same guy that plays Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so it was really
right.
great seeing him.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was
That's
really
cool.
funny.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's a funny actor.
He's a
He
cool
died,
dude in
though.
general.
He's
A
cool.
lot-
I've met him. We're friends.
We're buddies.
It's like your classic zombie film, but in 30 minutes where like everyone slowly dies.
It was funny how like Spider-Man was like, "Have you guys not watched any zombie movies?" When they're like, "Hey, let's split up," and then he's like, "Why? Why would we
Yeah.
do that?"
Yeah.
But we get to see our favorite Avengers die over and over again. Hawkeye dead, Happy dead
yeah,
twice,
which was
twice.
sad for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
We kind of got to see his like Uncle Ben moment. Almost.
we finally got the first mention of Uncle Ben
We
fully
did.
in the MCU,
We
and
did.
we realized it was 100% in Sony's hands. Why we have not heard that yet?
Yep.
Because the second they had a Spider-Man episode with Spider-Man in it, they're like, we should probably just throw that in there, just so people can.
Yeah. They know that
We're-
he did have an Uncle Ben, guys.
We're
swear.
gonna hear something about that in the third movie for sure. Whether
Yeah.
it's from like Tom Holland or one of the other Spider-Mans, like,
Yeah.
hey,
Remember
great
Uncle
power,
Ben?
Uncle Ben. Did your Uncle Ben get shot too? And he's like, no way, mine too.
Maybe that's an absolute point, dude.
Yeah, every Uncle Ben gets killed in
God,
every
bro.
movie.
Uncle Ben.
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
There's
man.
rarely like even if it's Uncle Ben, it's like someone's uncle. This
Yeah.
is like always the person. Even for Miles Morales, his uncle died.
Yeah.
That is but then like
Well-
other Spider-Mans don't have their uncles dead, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like
some
Peter
of them are
Parker
just bit
died,
by
but, like,
spiders.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
Spider-Ham,
anyways,
nothing
Some of them
happens.
just get lucky and
anyways,
just get powers.
we have some really messed up things going on in this episode. For example, Wanda turns into a zombie, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
and
this
then
is so cool.
there's Vision who can't,
Yeah.
be turned at all, and he is feeding the surviving Avengers to her.
Well,
And-
yeah, because he's trying to cure her, but she's so strong that she's immune to the cure.
Yeah.
And he figured it out because he tested it on
On
Scott
T'Challa.
Lang. No,
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang.
Yeah, but wasn't
he's in the
T'Challa
hand.
also infected?
He was
No.
never infected.
They
he
just
has a
took
vibranium suit.
They just
Oh.
took him. Yeah, T'Challa's probably fine forever.
He would have been cool. He would have just kept getting bit. But
I
he
don't
just,
know
like-
why he would even like try. I just walk around. I just like go shopping.
Yeah,
my
I don't know how
vibranium
anyone
suit.
got into Iron Man suit either.
They have so much vibranium. Why didn't they just make vibranium suits for everyone in the world?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
They're being kind of greedy.
they're kind of being kind of
Kind of being greedy right
and
now.
it's their fault. You'll understand why at the end of this
You'll
episode.
understand why at the end of the episode. yeah.
But that was actually something similar to the comics where it was actually Ant-Man, like Hank Pym, who's like testing,
Mhm.
trying to find a cure, but he uses Black Panther. And then this one's like a much milder version. In the comics, he's missing an arm and a leg, and like part of his face is like skin graft off because they're trying to find cures and they
Yeah.
keep taking it from him. But it was cool seeing that like
Yikes.
if Wanda's not the one who loses Vision, Vision will do the exact same thing Wanda did
Like,
in
it
her
still
show.
happens.
Yeah,
around
like
the
hurt
same
other
time.
people.
Yeah, where
for
it's like
the other sake.
like they're like, I will literally abuse and kill people for the sake of them, and you're like, oh, that's terrifying.
Which is like kind of weird because you think Vision is like the absolute
Altruistic,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, like he's not. But
Guess
but
not.
it seems to be like Wanda's the only one that can make him change that. And in the end, he's like, I need to atone. Like he's like, I realize
he's-
what I'm doing is wrong, and I need to atone. So he
Yeah.
But
So
he
He does
could.
the K word on himself.
Yeah, he does a K word. It's a PG show. We can't really
PG
say
show.
it.
it's what the 4th time we've seen Vision die now.
He
Yeah.
did what Thanos did to
But to
him, but to
himself.
himself, which was like the most
Which is
brutal way to
But
go.
also a power move for him because now
Power
we know
move.
like the two people strong enough to kill Vision are himself and Thanos. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Right.
But that was interesting to see. Like no matter what it is.
Oh, and Wanda. Can't forget.
She can also.
Vision.
A lot of people can kill Vision.
He's not that bad.
For
he's
him
not that
being
strong. I don't
completely
know.
vibranium, still can
Yeah.
die pretty easy.
But then basically Vision kills himself, right?
Yep,
And then
they all
Wanda's
get on
like,
a Quinjet.
"Are you fucking fucking kidding me? And then she kills a couple people because
Wanda.
Wanda, she's the most powerful person fucking ever, I guess. I don't know.
I like how Bucky gets Captain America's shield after beating him in a fight, and then he's like, "Stay, I'll stop Wanda." No, you won't.
You
And he
will
just
not
gets
stop
thrown
Wanda.
4 miles away. And
Yeah,
you're like,
he's definitely dead, right?
I think he'll be fine, but he's definitely
Maybe.
like on his own. Like
Yeah.
he has to survive for the rest of his life by himself in a forest.
Yeah, he's a super soldier. He probably could
He'll
survive
heal,
that.
but-
Yeah, he'll be okay.
We
But
see
now we're
them.
left with Peter Parker, Scott
Yeah.
Lang, T'Challa, and the Cloak.
And Bruce Banner, but we finally see the Hulk come out like
Yep.
he does in Endgame and fights Scarlet Witch, which is really cool. And I
Yeah.
really like. I said it before. I'll say it again. I really like how the Hulk looks in this show.
He
Really
does look pretty
fun.
Cool.
They go away, and then they're like, we get another heartbreaking like, oh, it has a different meaning now that he's
So,
gone. Conversation
but-
with Spider-Man where he goes like, death isn't the end. And you're like, stop
Yeah.
it, stop it.
Yeah.
Which means we only have one more episode with him, I think, because he's in
Probably.
4. He was in this one, the Killmonger one, Star-Lord one, and then one more.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they're going to Wakanda now
Mhm.
at the end of the episode because the Mind Stone can heal zombies for
Who-
some reason.
Who's in there? Who's in Wakanda, Jackson?
I'm blanking.
Zombie Thanos.
Zombie Thanos.
Oh, that was he was
With-
in Wakanda.
Yes.
Oh,
And he has 5 of 6 Infinity Stones.
Which is a big problem.
It's a lot of Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
They're going there with the 6th one to
Mhm.
broadcast his signal to heal everyone. But even if they heal everyone, Thanos is there
Yeah.
because he heals a zombie Thanos. It's still
Yeah.
Thanos.
It's still Thanos.
They're
Still
going
Thanos.
to lose no matter what. This is a bad universe.
This is a
to be
bad
in.
universe to be in.
This is bad.
And the
They should
Watcher
kill
even says
zombie
that at the
Thanos
end.
first. Yeah.
Where he goes like, "Ugh, sometimes you just get fucked no matter what. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. This sucks, guys.
This
I don't know,
one
man.
sucks.
I didn't realize
help.
he was in Wakanda. I thought he was just like a looming threat.
No,
like,
it was like
No,
somewhere.
like in Infinity War,
Where he, like,
went
goes
to
through
Wakanda,
the-
but then there were zombies there, so then he got turned.
because they
Oh.
still had the other stone there. So
Yeah.
which
But
is
that
cool.
leads me to believe, where did he get the time stone and stuff?
Probably just took it from dead zombie Doctor Strange.
But even if he's dead, doesn't the spell still work?
Thanos is really strong, especially with the reality
Okay,
thing. He could
okay.
just,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I didn't write it.
But you should have.
Final one, weakest one. Not that it's bad. I just thought the
just-
other two were more interesting concepts.
Yeah.
What if Killmonger was an Iron
Because
Man
this
1?
one felt like really not plausible. It felt really. Why would he? Where did this come from? You know, like how?
Let-
What
let's-
events led to
Let's
this
explain.
happening?
So Killmonger was known to be a military guy. Like
Mhm,
he
yeah.
was in like some special ops group,
Yes.
and I think he just so happened to be doing a mission in where the Middle East,
well,
wherever Tony
he
was.
does reveal later that he did know about it in advance.
Yeah, like
right,
he
yeah,
knew
but
about the
that's
So
what I'm
that's why
saying
he
is
was
like
there.
he has that military background to be led in on these like special operations.
He could lie and say
But
he was
then
on a
my
mission. but-
question is, why didn't this just happen normally?
because
Like you're not telling me anything different
because
from
he
the
was
normal
probably on a
universe.
different mission. I guess it just
Okay.
depends what
It just was a
what
they didn't really show
squad
us
he was
how it
on.
happened, I guess,
Yeah.
which they normally kind of do. Like with the zombie one, they showed
even
us
if they showed us like a
how the
10-second
virus
clip of like
started, and then like what if Doctor Strange, like they started it where, like they
They do a
basically
lead up.
started
In this
it
one,
where
it's just
it
like, hey,
normally,
remember
where it
Iron Man
lines up.
1?
Yeah.
and then instead of him getting blown up with a missile, now and he doesn't even have the serum.
But
So
it's
is it
part of
that easy to
mystery.
throw a missile? Because he just goes. I'm like,
I don't know.
I don't know if that's like physically plausible.
Yeah,
He's
I
pretty
don't know.
cool though.
He's pretty cool.
It's Michael
For
B.
sure.
Jordan.
Michael B.
so
Jordan. Is
Yeah,
really
and
cool.
then
you never know.
he has a PhD, which was the weirdest thing to me. I mean, is that a thing in the comics?
I don't know if they mentioned that in the movie or anything, but I guess sure.
Yeah, so he actually Killmonger got his doctorate in making robots, and that's a big plot point because he works with Tony Stark now to make war not use people. So they make basically
The hammer drones from Iron Man 2.
yeah, they
But
they
they
just
work.
make drones and they work. And what they need to power them is vibranium.
Oh yeah.
Which is
We're gonna
funny
get
how
that.
in this
Where
version,
you gonna get that vibranium, Dan?
you're gonna get it from Claw.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Andy Serkis is back, baby.
Yeah.
Love him.
Let's go, baby.
Wasn't as goofy or zany as he is in the movies. Kind of disappointed.
Yeah, but he was still
I don't think- he
Australian
wasn't
and
supposed
all
to
I
be
think
that.
it's
like
because
making
I think it's
fun of
because
it.
he hasn't lost his hand yet, so he's
Yeah.
not as like goofy yet. He's just
not
like
as like life is
meaningless,
Crazy. You could
yeah.
lose your hand whenever.
you could lose your hand from a James Spader
Yeah,
robot.
that really throws you for a loop once you lose your hand.
But-
it happened to me.
They kill a lot of people along the way.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Rhodes.
yeah, Rhodey,
Rhodey.
Don Cheadle comes back.
Don Cheadle
Mhm.
dead.
Don Cheadle, word of the day, dead.
Oh, should we make the announcement about the Don Cheadle word of the day?
No, it's dead.
Okay.
Don
Forever
Cheadle, word
now.
of the day
Forever
is
done.
Don
over.
Cheadle word of the day is kind of over.
which is
But
sad. But
it's
it ended
sad.
in July, and
It
we
ended
didn't know
in July.
about
We
that.
didn't notice it, so we're gonna continue it.
We're
We're
gonna
just
go
gonna
back
continue
further.
Don Cheadle word of the day.
Anywho, Don Cheadle dies, and then surprise, surprise, a younger, even more ruthless Black Panther shows up, freaking throwing guys, snapping necks, breaking
Yeah.
backs,
And then
Yep, yep.
dies.
and then just dies from a sonic taser.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I was kind of like, oh, that's not a good way to go.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that looked pretty painful.
it looked like the same thing that it's the same thing. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that until now. It's the same thing that Obadiah Stane uses at the end of the first Iron Man when he takes the reactor out. He has that weird little thing that he
Yeah.
plays up to his ear and makes like his veins purple. It was just a gun version
Mhm.
of that. So it was even more painful.
Yeah.
wow.
Oh my god.
So it was like, I think that's like a cool comparison that you brought up. Let's go into literature here, Danan.
Uh-huh.
I think that's a cool parallel between Killmonger and Obadiah. Like, even though he got rid of Obadiah earlier in the episode, like the main bad guy of Iron Man 1, he stepped in to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's like even worse than Obadiah could have ever been, but you think he's gonna be the good guy.
Yeah.
But
And then
he shows that through his weapons
Mhm.
too. Look at that.
and then we see that Tony Stark, being Tony Stark, he's like, "You're not gonna lie to me for too long without me figuring it out." Because he does the Iron Man 3 thing where he has a holographic
Yeah.
scene of the whole thing. He goes, "You killed all these people, and now you're gonna die." And you're like, probably shouldn't have told him that.
Now he's gonna kill you.
You probably should have been like, "The police are already here."
Mm-hmm.
But then he
Mhm.
calls one of the robots. Killmonger goes like, "But vibranium spear, so I'm good." And then he just beats it, kills
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That's the sound of the
Yeah.
spear. Dead.
Mhm.
Comes back. "I killed Tony Stark. Let me into Wakanda." And they're like, "All right, cool." And he's like, "Hey, T'Challa's dad, who doesn't die in this universe, I want to help you." And
Mhm.
and then he's like, "Oh, I totally killed your dad. You can help us, dude." And then
Yeah.
he's playing chess while everyone else is just watching him play chess. The army makes all the robots, sends them to Wakanda, and he's like, "I have a kill switch that stops them," but he doesn't tell them that, so that way it looks like they all stopped.
Mhm.
And then he turns them back on for whatever reason. And I don't get that.
I didn't either.
I think it was so he could like prove that he was loyal to them and like fight alongside them.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know,
I don't
but
know.
I feel like the fact that he was like, "Hey, if they come in here, the frequency will kill it," and then they'd be like, "Oh, nice job,
Yeah,
Eric
would-
Killmonger.
yeah,
you
would
did
think.
it." But then, anyways, we get
I
a
don't
cool
know.
sequence of all the Wakandans kicking ass. You
As
see
they
Black
do.
Panther's mom do something cool where he throws the spear and kills 3 robots and pulls it out. We got a
Mhm.
nice scene where she's like screaming for T'Challa, and Eric Killmonger's like, "Yeah, for T'Challa." He killed T'Challa.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yeah.
And then it ends with such a cool thing where he goes to the spirit realm, becomes the Black Panther, and
Yeah.
instead of seeing his father, he sees Black Panther there. He's like,
Yeah.
"Are you happy?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Hell yeah, I'm happy."
Yeah.
It was like such a dark, twisted version
Right.
of like him, like, "No, I learned my lesson. You were wrong. I'll learn from you." He's like, "You killed me." He's like, "Yeah, I'll kill more people." But
Mhm.
deuces.
He's like, it worked
Yeah.
out.
But then, like, at the end, like, through the whole episode, Pepper Potts was suspicious of this guy. Like, she knew that he had an ulterior motive.
Mhm.
And then I believe Shuri.
Yeah.
It was Shuri at the end there.
Mhm.
So Shuri and Pepper Potts both know that something's wrong with Killmonger. I think Shuri has evidence or something, so
Yeah.
they're gonna probably try and expose him, and then
Yeah.
Seems like a loose end that they're going to need to tie up
They're
with
gonna
the
need to tie
3
that up.
episodes that they have left. But
There's
now
only
on,
3.
yeah, now on to rampant speculation. We've seen through the mid-season trailers and things like that. They're going to meet up. At least we know for sure that evil Doctor Strange and Party Thor are going to meet up. They mentioned zombies or something, so I guess that loose end will be taken care
there's
of.
probably gonna be a Captain Marvel
Yeah,
in an episode, right?
Captain
I've
Marvel
seen that in
with
the trailers.
with some of the other characters. We're going to see the Guardians of the Multiverse, which is just evil Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, Star-Lord, T'Challa,
Mm-hmm.
Killmonger, Black Panther, which is weird because he's super obviously evil.
Yeah.
I mean, but so is Dark Doctor Strange now.
No, because he was like, "I learned my lesson," and he wanted to
Killmonger
fix
is
everything.
still
Killmonger
pretty
is
evil.
like pretty
But,
obviously
I
evil.
mean, okay.
Maybe he
he's
gets
evil,
changed
but
by
like
being Black Panther.
his intentions aren't awful.
Yeah, they're less awful than
He,
Thanos.
he did just kind of want to just go back to Wakanda at the end of the day and just live
yeah,
his life as a Wakanda. But now,
Well, but
he's-
he
that
kind of
he's lived
wanted
his life.
revenge on Wakanda for killing his dad.
and
no?
also he wants
Not
like
in this
Wakanda.
timeline. I don't feel
It,
like.
it seemed like it was a backhand, like
Yeah, but like it ended with him kind of just doing good as Black Panther. I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll
Like
see.
it'll
like,
be fine.
yeah.
Maybe I think it's just supposed to. It's not supposed to be like you're like they're all heroes. I think it's like the Watcher's like, fuck, here's what we got.
We have
Go for
zombies
it.
and Ultron bots. We gotta fix this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Any last? What do you think is gonna happen at this point? Do you have any guesses on the last 2 episodes before the finale?
I have no clue.
I truly have no idea. They
Yeah.
haven't told us much. So
I know I think next week, this is just my guess. I think we're gonna do Party Thor. I don't know like what that storyline is.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it just seems like a dumb Chris Hemsworth Thor because he's just like, slow down, everyone gets it, but repeat it for those of us who don't get it. So I think he's
That
just a
kinda
dumber
Thor.
version of
That's
Thor.
stupid.
Yeah, but maybe he's cool.
Maybe.
And then at the end, when do you think the Watcher will step in? I think
Soon.
next episode.
I think next
You think
episode.
so?
I
Yeah.
think if there's only 3 left, it's got to be next episode. Maybe like post-credit scene. Like how they didn't do any for WandaVision, but then they did it for like the fucking 7th episode
yeah.
for some reason. And we were like, what? Maybe they're going to do that this time where the Watcher steps in and like we're like, oh, okay, now that's starting that for the final 2 episodes or whatever.
Maybe. We'll see. Jackson,
Maybe.
any last predictions?
This series has gone in so many directions. I cannot with certainty say anything.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Well, that's it for this.
Should we rank
3
these 3
weeks?
episodes?
Rank these episodes.
No.
Camden, you rank first.
all 3 together.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
Okay.
out of these 3, what's number
I'm
1?
sure when Marvel was making the episodes, they were like, I think people are going to review them based off of pairings of 3. So let's kind of make some good ones and some bad ones every 3.
Yeah.
So this group of 3, 8.5.
8.5?
8.5 out of 10. Out of 10 Paul
I'll give it a
Ruddheads.
7.7.
Nice.
Good alliteration.
I'm going to just give it an 8 because for the highest points of Doctor Strange, they were like the weaker points of the Killmonger one where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's
But
a
then
cool
there's also
concept.
Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, and Marvel Zombies was kind of like,
It was cool.
but then also you're like, it seems like they could have made this like longer or at least start at a different point.
Right.
'Cause they kind of
I
had to
think
go through
it's
everything
going
too
to make
quickly.
sense a couple episodes from now.
Yeah,
Like,
well-
in
well-
2 episodes, we'll know what's going on.
We'll
We'll
know
know
what's
why they did that. There's reasons they started at certain points in the timeline.
Yeah.
I think it's just mainly to get different characters in it, probably.
Yeah, we
right?
still have to see like Gamora and things like
Gamora.
that. So we'll find out. As always, we will see you in 3 weeks for the What If finale review.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't already, follow us on our socials. Jackson.
At Instagram, we are Roomies Talkin Movies. At Twitter, we're Roomies Movies. On YouTube, we're Camden Powell.
Tentatively.
Tentatively.
We're working on. Big things coming, guys.
Big things coming.
And
Uh,
on podcast platforms, we're Roomies Talkin Movies.
The next best stop
If
for
you
all
just
things
look
movie
up
news and
Roomies
reviews.
talking,
We're second.
We're there.
Are
We're
we-
in there.
No, I think we're.
If you look up
swimwear.
just the word
Roomies.
roomies, we're second pop up. If we look
Really?
up the word roomies talking, we're
Man,
first.
I don't think that's true.
You
I think-
told me that yesterday.
I
on
just looked up
Google
Roomies and nothing.
or podcast.
What if I look
everything.
up Roomies talk?
Oh, on
Okay, if you
Google.
look up Roomies talk, we're the first link.
Sick. We're getting
Cool.
there. We're getting there like
getting there.
Tupperware, right, Jackson?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, we'll
That's
see
what I've
y'all.
been saying.
We'll see y'all later. Take care.
Ta ta.
Sleep well.